Hello and welcome back to Aphrodisia. I hope you're all doing well today. So we have a few piles here for you to pick from: spring, summer, autumn, or winter. And today we're going to be looking at whether your person will be back in your life. So close your eyes and connect with your higher self and ask for some guidance. When you're ready, open your eyes and pick a pile. If you need to, pause the video. But before we get started, please help support this channel by liking and subscribing and pressing the bell icon to be alerted on new videos. And the decks that I've used will be in the description box below. So for those of you who picked pile spring, this is your reading. For many of you, I feel a 50-50 chance that your person's going to be back. And why I say this is not just, first, I don't really go about the traditional way of yes-no answers, because I think there are many ways to get yes-no answers. And one of the ways which sometimes I may use, but I don't really often use, is looking at whether there are major arcanas, there are even numbers. So when there are even numbers and there are major arcanas, there will be more of like a yes. And if there are suit court cards or the odd numbers, it will be a no. So in this reading, we have an even number of yes and no. And I decided to just keep it as that. I decided for this pick a pile, I wanted to just have 6 cards. And we want to not just explore whether yes or it's a yes or no answer, but I wanted to see what exactly is keeping this person from coming forward, or keeping this or what exactly is propelling this person to come forward or them wanting to come back. So we just kept it as that. So why I say there is a 50-50 chance is not just because of the major arcana, minor arcana, the number of cards, because I think there's still quite a bit of love here that exists between the two of you. And we can see that from this Queen of Cups. We can see that from the Six of Pentacles. There is still quite a lot of emotions here. However, it's kind of like balancing on a knife's edge as well. I see a lot of things can shift against your favor or in your favor when it comes to this connection. And I feel like for the two of you, there is a real need to connect with spirit a lot more and like connect with your 5D selves. And this Queen of Chalices really talks about the 5D connection. And perhaps one of the ways that you both can reconnect again is to really build upon this 5D connection and make this relationship in the 5D very strong, or to build this relationship in the 5D to a very strong level or to the next level. And I feel like both of you need to nurture this connection in the 5D before it can manifest itself in the 3D again. So the both of you need to be more connected spiritually to each other. And in addition to that, I feel like you need to be more emotionally stable as well. I feel like right now, especially with the Hangman there, and there's a lot of commotion in the water and the Seven of Chalices as well, I feel like both of you are a little bit like your emotions are a little bit turbulent. And I think you both need to kind of calm your emotions. It could be both of you or one of you, but I feel like you both need to enter a more stable and perhaps a more emotionally mature energy. And what I mean by this is that you are being asked to come into a more grounded and perhaps a more like into an energy where you can understand and process your own emotions. And I feel like both of you may have met each other when you're both quite young and you didn't know any better. And there's a chance that this immaturity or this like emotional immaturity has not allowed both of you to develop your relationship in the way that both of you want to. There were a lot of things that kind of stood in the way and really caused this relationship to fall apart. So I feel like both of you need to work on becoming more empathetic, more emotionally stable before they're, like, in order to give a fighting chance for this connection. I feel like both of you are going through a really huge rebirth and renewal at this point in time, and you both may be feeling very stagnant because I feel like this stagnation is kind of eating you both up, and you feel like your head is underwater and you're feeling very anxious, and I feel like you're feeling very nervous and very frustrated, and you feel like nothing's going anywhere. And this Hanged Man card really looks very ominous, and I feel like you are being asked to take a step back and trust this process of healing and trust in the movement towards this new version of yourself. Even though there may not be things that are happening right now for you, there are things that are happening in the background where you can't see it. And I feel like the moment you break through with this transformation, with this Death card here, this new version of yourself is really going to help bring about blessings that you want into your life. And I feel like things will just stop feeling like nothing is going the way you want it to. And I feel like the universe wants you to focus more on healing and creating this new version of yourself, one that is very aligned with spirit and one that's more attuned with your emotional needs as well as the emotional needs of other people. There's a lot of heavy emphasis on being able to understand someone else and someone else's perspective, and perhaps both of you were not able to when you were in a relationship, and therefore the relationship broke down. Therefore, take this chance to work on this relationship during this period of separation. I sense that this person you're thinking of is really watching you from afar, and they're working on their own healing, but they're also watching you. They're spying on you on social media and through friends. They're really listening out for any news about you, and it's like they want to hear whatever they can about you, whether you've moved on, but I think they're at a distance from you, and there is this bridge between the two of you that has really been broken and burned to the ground, and they really need to take a leap of faith and move towards you, even though that I think in their minds this bridge, the connection with you has really been severed. I feel like for some of them they have other love interests in their lives, and there are a lot of options in front of them in terms of what they can commit to, and I feel like this kind of tweaks it against you in terms of like whether they're going to be back. They have other options that they can turn towards, that they can commit to, and you are perhaps one of the other options, and I feel like they have a lot on their plates at this point in time, so a lot of things on their minds. And because you're not the main priority, and because there's this distance between the two of you, and because you're both going through this rebirth and renewal, there is a chance that, there is of course that 50% chance that you may not reconnect because they will be very overwhelmed with other things in their lives, and they will just move on with other things in their lives. Of course, they will think of you from time to time, but it seems like, again, it's on a knife's edge. It's a balance, a very fine balance between yes and no. And I feel like anything can tweak it towards either side. And I feel like over time, they may either things might get better and they may start taking active steps towards you, or they may just really put this relationship in a box and put it somewhere else and no longer revisit it anymore. I see there's a lot of balance that needs to be gained before the two of you can have something more together. So again, it's something that they need to kind of focus on, and you need to focus on it as well. So I also pulled some more cards from the universe with this deck, and to give you some guidance to end off this reading. And the first card here is about change, which really talks about shifting your perspective, shifting your mindset, and shifting the way that you think and behave. And I feel like this is very much in line with this whole reading about both of you needing to work on shifting your energies, and like there is a need to work on this transformation first and foremost. Like, of all the things that you need to worry about, it should be worrying about you and putting yourself first and going through this transformation. And I feel like when you transform, you don't just give this relationship a fighting chance. I think you actually open yourself up to more relationships and new love beginnings to come into your life. Because I think when you reach like a certain level, like you level up, you're able to better handle relationships with other people, and it will no longer just be, yes, it's all I want from this relationship, what I need from this relationship, and this relationship just surrounds me and what I need. Or some people may just believe that the relationship is about the other person and what the other person needs, so you bend over backwards in order to make the other person happy, and that shouldn't be the case. You are both being asked to prioritize the relationship and work together for this relationship. And I feel like it takes a level of maturity which you are getting towards in order to sustain a healthy relationship. And so the next card here is mystery. So I feel like this is also very much in line with our reading here, in the sense that the future is very much unknown, and it's very much up to the two of you to make it. And I feel like both of you are shrouded from each other at this point in time. And I think both of you want to understand or kind of like see where the other person's at before you make a move. And both of you don't really have that clarity over the situation and what's going on in each other's lives. And as a result, like, you're kind of hesitant about moving forward or being the first person to reach out. And so I think, back to the point, just focus on this change, focus on embracing new beginnings, and see where this leads you. So I hope that this brought you some guidance, and that's all the messages I have for you today. Let me know in the comments how this resonates with your situation, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye! So for those of you who picked pile summer, this is your reading. I feel like this person is coming back towards you, or at least there is a high probability that this person is coming back towards you. I see this person is really working on their healing. They're really closing out major cycles, and I see that they're opening up their eyes to their own behavior and their contribution to the dissolution of a relationship. And I feel like they understand a lot of things better now. Like, this eye here really is screaming out at me, and I feel like this person really has gotten a new perspective, and they understand a lot of things better now, and it's a very mature perspective. And I feel like I'm just wondering whether this is a perspective that you may share as well. Like, I'm just wondering how far along you are on your healing journey as well, because your person seems to be making like leaps and bounds in terms of understanding what's going on. And I feel like you're also being asked to not blame the other person or blame yourselves, and to take a very objective view of what has gone wrong or what has gone right. Instead of, like, I feel like both of you need to assess the situation from a less emotional or guilty or angry standpoint, and instead understand the relationship from a very impartial sort of standpoint and perspective, and a mature sort of perspective as well. And I feel like because your person's able to detach from the emotions that they felt about this, or process these emotions already, and now they're able to objectively look at what's happened, I feel like they have gained a lot of clarity. And And in addition to that, I feel like they've done a lot of healing as well, and I do see a new beginning coming in for them, and perhaps for you as well, because your person may be coming in with this offer of love. But I see your person really mustering themselves, like they have really gained a lot of confidence, they have grown up a lot, and they really, like, they now are in a better place to bring a relationship to you, because I think they know themselves a lot better, and they've gotten a lot of their things sorted. Like, they've gotten their ducks in a row. And I feel like the more they step into their power, the more they're going to feel more confident about being able to sustain a relationship with you. And I feel like they've done so much healing on themselves, especially on the past. And I feel like it's really up to the universe to bring the two of you back together again. And it really depends on your energies and whether you're both ready to receive love into your lives. But for this person, I feel like they are receiving or ready to receive some love. And I feel like they want to reconnect with you. And this is not to say that they're going to reconcile with you and make this grand gesture and offer of love, but I feel like they're going to reach out and start a conversation with you. I do think that they want to start out as friends, and they want to move things very, very slowly, because we have the Seven of Pentacles here, and of course Seven of Pentacles is a very, very slow moving card. It can take months, years, before anything blossoms between the two of you. But I feel like this is a card of reconnection and building that bridge between the two of you. At least there is this communication, or this line of communication between the two of you, that they are trying to rebuild. But when it comes to this relationship, I'm not quite sure if they want to rebuild a relationship just yet. I feel like they want to talk to you and to see where you're at, and to see whether you are still on the same page when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships. And I feel like you're going to have this really nice catch-up session, but whether this leads to something more, this is something that I cannot really tell at this point. It's up to your person, but also you as well, to decide whether both of you are still aligned with your goals, and whether both of you are at a stage where you can embark on a relationship together. I feel like this person is not going to jump into things prematurely, and I think they want to get to know you better before they commit to you. And yes, you may have history together, but I feel like they want to be very sure before they commit. And I feel like you shouldn't, and this will apply to a small group of you shouldn't put up a false front for them in order to win them over. You should just be yourself. And honestly, your person needs to accept you for who you are. And if they cannot, then there's no point sustaining a relationship, because you will be trying to pretend to be someone you're not in order to make this person happy, and to make this relationship happen, and to create this relationship. And it's really not what relationships are supposed to be, and it's really not what you should be doing in relationships. You're not supposed to be someone you're not in order to fill the void of wanting to be in a relationship and not wanting to be alone. And I feel like this perhaps may point to a people-pleasing behavior, and perhaps a lack of self-confidence, which you need to work on if that's the case. But I feel like this is not to say that you're supposed to stubbornly push for your way, and to, push that, okay, I'm always correct, this relationship should be all about me. But I feel like you are both meant to kind of talk things out and really reassess. And I think you need to be very objective when it comes to this as well, and not be overwhelmed by the fact that, this person's bad, I don't have to be alone anymore, so I'm going to do whatever it takes not to be alone. You need to be more objective when it comes to this. And I feel like you both need to come to a compromise or an understanding about where you both are. And I don't think you should rush into things, even though you may want to. And I don't think your person is thinking about rushing into things. And this may take years before it solidifies into a relationship. So in addition to these messages, I pulled some more messages from Spirit to you with this oracle card, and the first message you have is peace. And I feel like you are being asked to find peace in the here and now, and how you do that is to find balance as well. What I feel you need to start doing is to really practice gratitude, and to have a gratitude journal or gratitude ritual where you're thankful for the blessings that you have right now. And I feel like this grateful heart is really going to open yourself up to a lot more new love beginnings and perhaps a new way of looking at things. So in this card over here, we have the Star card, which is the Star card. Like, it feels like it's a repetition of the messages here. And I really feel like it's like really synchronistic. And what I feel the universe wants you to know is that the blessings are on their way to you, and you need to have faith, have hope that things are going to work itself out eventually. And so with that being said, that's all the messages that I have for you today. Let me know in the comments how this resonates with your situation, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye! For those of you who picked Pile Autumn, this is your reading. So whether your person's going to come back towards you, I feel like this is a 50-50% chance, if that makes sense. Because once again, I feel like whatever happens, it's really up to the two of you to make a decision about this relationship. And so I'm going to explain again, which is not again for you if you're listening to this reading for the first time, in this pile for the first time, but in pile A, or rather pile Spring, I explained how I kind of looked at the cards and to see whether it's more of a yes or no. And usually I take even numbers and major arcana cards as a yes, and odd numbers and suit cards as a no. And so we have 6 cards here, which is what I was guided to pull, and I didn't want to pull anything more because we're not just looking at whether there's a yes or no. We're looking at what are the blockages, what is kind of inclining them towards coming back towards you. We are not just looking at just one single answer. And I feel like we have a very even balance of yes and no. But if we look at the cards, they may point or indicate, or rather tell a different story. So I feel like this relationship is really hanging on a balance because, it can go either way. It can renew itself eventually in the future, or it can really, you both can move on, and the both of you are really determining the future of this relationship. I feel like first talking about the issues that are keeping you from being together before we talk about what is going to help you both. And I feel like one or both of you are still in this energy of not being open to the blessings that want to come into your life. It's like you have all these blessings and all these, where is this 4 of Cups here? We have these 2 chalices here, which is the 2 of Cups, which is the Union card. And it's sitting right behind this dude. And yet this boy here is not looking at these cups. He's looking off into the distance, and I'm not sure where he's looking at. But it's like, you have all these blessings in front of you and this love potential in front of you, but you're not looking towards it. And you're not looking to appreciate what you already have. And you're just daydreaming about something that's better, something that you believe you will get better, instead of working with what you have right now. And this could be both of you or your person. Your person may be thinking like, I can go and achieve all these things, marry someone else who's more perfect for me, more in line with who I am and what I want. And here you may be thinking that if this and that happens, then everything will be just great and fine and dandy. And I really feel like you're being asked to focus on the here and now and on the reality of the situation and work with what you have first. And I feel like you're being asked to be more grateful for what you already have. And this allows for you to open up your heart chakra a lot more and to allow for blessings to come into your life. There is a lot of emotions and love that exists between the two of you, I feel. And both of you have to make a decision in order to work on these feelings and work on transforming yourselves in order to start again. I see that there is a lot of sneaky behavior that's going on in this connection, and it could be that you or your person, most likely your person, has another person in their lives and they're not being very honest or truthful or upfront with you at this point in time. I feel like this person may be juggling between many people, many things. They're not being completely honest with you and they think they can get away with it. I see that your person may be like having a lot of masks on, and perhaps they're still not quite healed from the pain of the separation that happened between the two of you, and they're still hiding their feelings. Either way, they're not being truthful, they're not being honest with themselves or with you. And I see that this heartbreak and separation has really hurt you and really hurt them. And I feel like this is something that has to be resolved first before the both of you can start again. There is no point trying to have a new beginning when you have so much emotional baggage from the past clinging on to you, and both of you need to make this active choice in order to release it. Otherwise, it's going to build up. It's not going to be very healthy for the two of you. And I see that, like, once you do, you come into more balance. And I feel like right now you're both very much having your head in the clouds, daydreaming about this perceived reality or this idealized and picturesque reality. And you need to really focus on grounding yourselves. And I do see that there's a chance that this person may come in with an offer of love to sweep you off your feet, and I feel like this only happens after this period of mourning has occurred, especially the Two of Swords here, like coming after the night of, like coming before the night of chalices. So I do see that you need to heal and mourn the old self, the old relationship, and you need to let go and release of what is already dead and gone. And it's not to say that you forget what has happened, but it's more to say that you release yourself from the chains that these emotions keep you to certain realities or certain negative mindsets and in states of being. I feel like if you both are still holding on to these emotions, like old emotions, it's difficult for you to come in with a fresh energy and to build something on top of what has existed before. It's very hard to be objective about rebuilding something again with this person if you're so very wary or guilty or angry or sad or hurt about the past. And it causes people to react in a very negative way and we are here trying to rebuild something together, but then every turn you kind of react in a negative way and you start to protect yourself, you start to run away and stuff like that. And that, of course, can be avoided if we first work through our emotions. But of course, it's very natural to feel and react in a certain way, especially with people who have hurt you before in the past. And it's important that you understand yourself better and that you work on healing first and knowing that, I can't sustain something with someone if you're feeling a certain way about this someone. So I pulled more cards to see what Spirit has to say to you about this connection, and the universe wants you to know that you are divinely guided and that you are supported by the universe. They are not punishing you. They're not trying to make you do things to make you more miserable. They're trying to teach you a lesson, and very oftentimes they're trying to help you through some things through these lessons. Like sometimes you got to stumble a bit in order to learn more about yourself, and things like painful breakups that can teach you a lot more about yourself, and it's more than what you can learn than just observing other people or simply existing. You need to live in order to you need to learn in order to live. And this is very much applicable to life in general. So the universe wants you to trust your guidance and trust that you're very divinely guided through this period. They want you to let go and heal and relax and allow the blessings to come into your life. And don't try to control the situation too much. Don't try to force the situation. Just let go and allow things to happen naturally. There are some things that you cannot control, and these are things with your person, and the only thing you can do to control the situation is to control how you react to external stimuli, and that's what all you can do at this point. So just work on yourselves and work on things that you can control first. So with that being said, that's all the messages that I have for you today. Let me know in the comments how this resonates with your situation, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye! So for those of you who picked pile winter, this is your reading. I am seeing that it is quite unlikely that your person is going to be coming back towards you. And this is because it seems like your person is still very much conflicted about what they want in life. And I think they're still very trapped by their own ego. I see that this person is going deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole. And if you look at this devil card here, there is this snake that's in the leaves. And it's very ominous. It's very I feel like your person's just going deeper and deeper, and they do not realize the hole that they have dug themselves into. And I feel like they are very trapped by their own addictions and their own negative thought patterns. And perhaps you may be trapped also by the idea of them returning into your life, and this keeps you in a cycle of obsessing over this person and not allowing yourself to work on anything else because you're really just thinking about this person 24/7. I feel like perhaps over a long period of time, and I mean a very, very, very long time later, there might be a chance to turn things around. But right now, it doesn't seem very likely because both of you are still very driven by your own ego and the need to fulfill some ego desire. I see that some of you may be trying to get this person back because you believe that they fill a void in your life, or to prove a point you don't want, or the fact that you don't want to be alone. And these are very ego desires that can push you away from love and push love away from you instead of pushing you towards love. And I don't mean like love with this person, but love in general with other people, other opportunities. And as for your person, we talked about it just now, about them being very obsessed with their own addictions. They're not quite in their emperor energy yet. They're not quite in the divine masculine energy or the divine feminine energy. And I feel like when they do get there, we can reassess the situation and talk about it again. But right now, they're not quite there yet. And I feel like the skull here really reminds me of the need for transformation, because it reminds me of the death card, and it reminds me of the need for your person to go through a huge rebirth and renewal before anything can happen. And I do see that when it comes to this relationship, there has been a lot of conflict, there has been a lot of pain that's involved. And I'm just getting this from the Seven of Wands. It's like both of you had to tiptoe in order to, and then there was a lot of conflict, like look at the Five of Swords here, that you had to tiptoe in order to, and you had to tiptoe a lot in order not to offend the other person. And I feel like this person that you're thinking about has been replaying this pain and this conflict a lot in their minds, and they're not really allowing this pain and conflict to be processed in a very healthy manner, and instead they're going to turn it out of proportion, and it's kind of going to result in the fact that they turn you into the bad guy in this situation, which of course you're not. And I feel like there's a lot of prideful behavior that exists as well. And this energy of just wanting to be seen as the good guy in the situation. When of course, when a relationship falls apart, there's no good guy or bad guy. As much as we want to blame someone for our pain, we need to remember that there is an equal sharing of the responsibility of why there is a dissolution of a relationship. And I feel like this person really wants to defend themselves and make themselves appear to be better than what they are and to be the better person. And I see that, like, this is why the universe is refusing to allow both of you to reconnect again. And it's because of this prideful behavior. I feel like there is a reason behind this. And I really feel like this reason is because there is a bit of immaturity on your person's part. But I feel like clarity is coming in for the two of you, and you are gaining a lot more insight and perspective over what's going on. And with that, both of you will come out of this fog and this, like, I'm seeing this fog here as well, connected to the devil. And I feel like you will come out of this fog. And when you see things clearly, you come out of this fog and you can find a lot more inner peace. And I feel like when you consciously step out of this, you kind of end a major cycle and you can find peace again. I feel like you both will be able to sit down together and have a proper conversation about what you both want, and this will bring a lot of peace and closure. But until then, there's a need to get out of this fog first. So I pulled some more cards to see what Spirit has to say to you and what messages they have for you about this relationship, about this connection. And they want you to know that there will be happiness. There will be happy endings for you, even if it's not with your person, or even if it's with your person eventually. You're being reminded there's always a new beginning on the horizon, and there are blessings that are coming into your life, that are waiting to come into your life. There is an ending of a chapter here, and perhaps this is also for the best. I'm seeing sunsets, and perhaps sunsets like this one also talk about how you need to put something to rest, even if it's just for now. And to find joy in your life and to find happiness in your life instead of dwelling on what you have lost and mourning what you have lost. You're being guided to work on your inner child healing and allow your inner child to come out to play and nurture your inner child in a way that allows you to find peace again. I'm not saying that both of you are never going to come back together again. I'm just saying that for now it seems like it's quite unlikely. So instead, work on these other things and allow these other possibilities to come into your life again. So with that being said, that's all the messages that I have for you today. Let me know in the comments how this resonates with your situation, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye!